Welcome back.
To Marriage Beyond the Veil.
Question. So, I know that we're coming up on 35 years of marriage this year, if the Lord says the same. And I know that there are things at the onset about me that may have been, let's say, maybe irritating, may have not been...
You mean at the very beginning?
I mean,
When we first...
this is all through...
Oh, okay.
All through these years.
Okay.
My question becomes, when we were younger and, new in the marriage, things that may have occurred that may have irritated you or may have frustrated you,
Right.
looking at how you dealt with them then, now, 34 plus years later, when things irritate you or frustrate you, do you deal with them differently?
Yes.
Wow, you said that with a quickness. Okay, so unpack that.
Well, okay, so early on when we first got married, I felt myself was sort of like a peacemaker, and I never wanted to make waves. Well, maybe I wasn't, but I felt like I didn't want to make waves. So a lot of things...
Did you say you were a pizza maker?
That too, but a lot of things that I didn't want to make waves about, so I just sort of kept it to myself,
Until you didn't.
Until I didn't, and that was really the worst part of it. But even with that, now what I do is I address it, straight on. So if there's something that you're doing that irritates me, I just tell you that is irritating.
Let me see if I can reframe it though, because what I want to know is the things. Let's say something that legitimately irritated you or frustrated you then, and something that legitimately irritates you or frustrates you now, whether it was the same thing or a different thing, it really doesn't matter. How do you deal with it? Does it like send you to the same place, or through the years have you gotten to a place where you're more mellowed with your approach?
I'm definitely more mellow.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
How is it different, or is it?
Well, it depends on what it is. But yes,
Okay.
I would say that as I've gotten older, there are things that I don't find much need to even address. Because, sometimes I say mansplaining, to you, but a lot of times when he's mansplaining, I just let it go.
Because that's what we do.
Because it's, you pick and choose the things that really irritate you. You pick and choose your battles, and even though, there are times that, like he's talking and he's saying something, I'm like he's mansplaining. But I'm not going to say that. I just let him talk, and then I just don't say anything. I go, okay, and just keep it moving. But then there are other times, it depends on what it is.
Are you telling me whatever you like?
Yeah, sometimes yes. Yeah, sometimes it's not worth the conversation.
Right.
But then there are other times, that I'm coming right at you, and we need to talk it out right now. So yes, I do handle it differently. I'm much kinder, gentler.
Yes, you are. You are. And that's the thing. I think that with time, and really growing and knowing one another, you realize that everything doesn't require a response. You realize that your energy and effort that you put into something needs to exercise. You need to exercise wisdom.
Right.
Yeah, I think when couples are young, they have a lot of energy and they have, maybe very passionate about a great many things. And so even with disagreements and frustrations, there is passion.
Right.
But I think that as time goes on, there is a grace that tends to evolve.
Yes.
And an awareness that, is it really worth my time? Is it really worth the effort? No. So you let things go.
Yeah, and you've always been sort of calm, but coming from and witnessing your family, especially your sisters, who would argue about whether something was on the right side or the left side of the table, to a point where they were really arguing about this until somebody gave in or admitted that it was one way or another. I learned my sisters. But yeah, sometimes it's just not worth it.
Well, what's gonna say? I've never been that person.
No, you're not. But
Okay.
I learned from your sisters. So
Yeah.
they taught me a lesson.
Well, until tomorrow, if the Lord says to say,
Have a good evening.
extend grace and pace yourself.
Yes.